Very good day. Increase on the dumbbell press, decent increase on the easy bar. Very happy with bench press so far. Really wanting to try to get to 315 in the next few months.
2 years ago, 60 pounds heavier, struggling to find time. Today, multiple workouts per week from my home gym. Let's be better.
Heck yeah. Whew. So we did end up getting 7 and 7. Good. Whew. So that's an increase from last week. Whew. Glad. That felt a little easier than I thought it would as well, especially on that 6th set. So feeling good about it. Oh. 16. Whew. 11. 13. 14. 14. Whew. Whew. Okay. 14. So got an extra rep on each set there compared to last week. Still trying to, I think I'm taking these to 30, or sorry, I think I'm taking these to 20 reps before I increase weight. So we still got a few more reps to get out on 20s before we go up to the 30s. Whew. Really wish I had some 25s, but we'll make it work. We're going up in weight on the chest raises. See how many we can get. Make sure I'm at a good stretch. 1. 10. Whew. Oh, yeah. Good weight move. Nine. Whew. Moving up to 40 was a good idea. Whew. Those are hard. All right. On to dumbbell press. So, last week we got a set of 12 and then a set of 11. Hopefully, this week we'll get 2 sets of 12. I don't think that means I'm going to move up weight, since the next weight I need to move to, I can move to with the dumbbells, is 50s. We'll probably take this one to 15 before we move up. Get a little bit more life out of the 40 pounders. $13. Whew. 11. 12. 13. 14. 14. Heck yeah. Whew. Really good week with those then. So 13, 14 after a week where I got 12 and 11. Whew. Good work on that one. I did look, definitely once I hit 15 with both sets, we're gonna go up to 50s. Start at probably 6 reps, work my way all the way up to 15, and then I guess at that point we'll swap to dumbbell, or I guess at that point we'll swap to barbell overhead press. I guess the question is, do I do a military style press and leave the bench in play, like leave the bench for support, or just do a straight up standing overhead press? I've done standing overhead presses here before, but it definitely gets close to hitting the ceiling. So I'll have to marinate on that, but it'll be a while. All right, time for some tricep work. Whoo! Whew. All right. 11. 12. 13. 13. Whoo! Oh gosh. Those hurt in a good way. It's like tricep, they burn. So one thing I've not really talked about yet is that there's how this maintenance phase is going. I know it's a little late in the lift to try to be talking about that, but just now thought of it. Let's see, I've been at it for 5 weeks where I've been at maintenance calories. Now within that, there's the Thanksgiving holiday and all that. I've put on, I think probably about 5 pounds, which is definitely more than I wanted to. Like we're right at 190, which is kind of the upper limit of the weight I wanted to get to, or allow myself to get to in this maintenance phase, trying to figure things out. But this is my first day back to work after the birth of my daughter. So I think now that I'm getting back into my normal routine, going for walks on my lunch, making sure I'm getting my steps in, have a little bit better control of my diet day to day, believe I will flatline. And once I verify that I've flatlined, we'll probably cut 200 calories from, well, actually I've already cut 200 calories down to like 2,400 from what my maintenance was supposed to be, was like 2,600. Hopefully that means I'll get back down below 190, probably to like 188, 187, and we'll be able to just ride that. I'm still trying to decide if I want to start cutting in January or if I want to wait until like February or March and just really have a decent long stretch of maintenance phase. If anyone watching is a nutritionist or knows more about nutrition, like your body, you know, how long you should be at a maintenance phase before cutting again, let me know. My goal will be to probably cut about 30 pounds. Cut about 30 pounds before May. So I think February is like where I'll have a good balance of weight loss per week versus like maintaining my muscle. But I'm open to pushing it to January. I just really want to get through Christmas and like Thanksgiving, Christmas, and the New Year at maintenance. So that way, once I'm out of that, I'm basically I have the clear until we get to the beach trip in May. But we will. But that's just kind of where I'm at with the maintenance phase. Not going exactly how I planned, but also I'm not gained as much weight as I could have. So doing well there. We'll adjust and adapt as we go forward now that we're getting back into a more normal routine. But now I'm blabbering. We'll get into the tricep pushdowns and then hopefully have time for some abs, and we'll finish this lift. Got 11 and 10 last time, so we're gonna try to at least match as usual, if not beat. We'll see how these go. 13. Whoo! Yeah, feeling the pump in those. All right. Whoo! You're following up. One thing I thought of, and before we get, one thing I thought of off of that maintenance calories thought is, you know, I was in a cut, so I'm wondering how much of the weight gain is just my body getting carbs back up, right? I think that's a thing. So like, how much of it is just me, you know, having more carbs in my system? Because usually whenever I'm cutting, that's really how I'm cutting, right? Like, I cut a little bit of fat, I don't really cut any protein, and then I boost the carbs, right? So that's how I manage a cut in a maintenance phase. So I think with more carbs in my system, I wonder how much of my weight added on is just my body like filling in those holes that I made from the calorie deficit with carbs versus, you know, now I'm eating, you know, 300 grams of carbs a day, or somewhere around there, versus, you know, like 150 or less. So I'm not sure exactly what it was at the cut, but just in general, I'm wondering how much of the weight gain is that versus actual like fat gain, which like that's one of the big things about weight loss versus fat loss is, you know, weight loss, you can lose weight, but you might be losing muscle versus fat loss. It's the same on the gain side. Like, have I put more fat on my body? Probably. But have I put like 5 to 6, 7 pounds of fat on my body? I don't think so. I really have a hard time believing that that's the case. But that's what the scale says, higher weight. So I need to work it back down to where it needs to go. So we'll get moving that way, and we will adjust accordingly. Last set of these, and then I think we will have some time for abs. Yep. Ooh. 11. Good tricep work. Feeling the pump in them. Let's get on to abs. Get a couple of those pushed out. I was mistaken. Abs are for tomorrow, not for today. Only do them twice a week. So we do them on pull day and upper body day. But with that being the case, it is the end of the lift. Very good day with the push. Got a good increase on the dumbbell bench press, decent increase on the easy bar, even got an increase on these. So feeling really good about the progress in this new program. Very happy with bench press so far. Really wanting to try to get to 315 in the next few months. I think my max is somewhere in the 260s right now based on the math. We'll get up to somewhere around 300, and then we'll try to go for an actual 1 rep max. Like actually rep it out, and we'll kind of see how close I am. But for now, that's the end of the lift. I'll see you back tomorrow for pull day. And until then, for all you busy dads, remember, lift hard, track progress, be better. See you in the next lift.
Yeah, we ran out of patience. Yeah, we ran out of patience. Boy, in love with the